So when he said I lied, he's actually a pathological liar. Pathological liar. Pathological liar. Actually a pathological liar. He twists facts in a manner as if for him.
Let's focus on.
This is Political Nigeria, and you're welcome. Now, in this episode, I want you to see how Senator Oshomole thrashed Rufai. Now, listen. Senator Oshomole had taken a hard stance against the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians and other Africans in South Africa. And he had said that South African assets and investments in Nigeria should be nationalized. And he stated clearly that in diplomacy, sometimes you take a hard stance to pressurize or push the other party into negotiations, or it push them into ameliorating the effects of the xenophobic attacks. But you know, Rufai is a haughty guy. He's brilliant, but his motives are not right, are not upright. So sometimes he grandstands, he plays to the gallery, he argues for argument's sake. He wants to make points where there's no need for the point. He wants to erupt. I mean, sometimes he put on airs and is arrogant and want to rub shoulders with certain people. So he starts by saying, we are always fighting. Fighting with who? So this guy, he goes ahead to, Senator Oshomole was bold and clear and went ahead to call him a pathological liar. So he said Rufai Oseni is a pathological liar, and he made his points clear. Now, this was made on Channels TV. This interview was on Channels. I had posted the previous one on Arise, and I want you to see the one on Channels. The difference in terms of how Senator Oshomole, this time he took out time because they allowed him time to respond. On Arise, Rufai wouldn't allow him to respond. He will ask questions and wouldn't give him time to respond. He asked other questions. So, but on Arise, on Channels TV, he was given enough time to respond to all of the questions, and he took his time to give the details. I want you to take a listen. At the end of this video, at the end of his speech, I'm going to come back to, but of course, I would like to see your comments. I'd like you to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and you can share as well. Okay, let's go. This is Political Nigeria, and we're here to give you news on politics, governance, etc. Thank you.
Rufai lied when the other day, he tried to confuse people as if he's a foreign consultant. He said, why are we not killing, we should nationalize the businesses of Nigerians, of rich men in northern Nigeria. I don't know why he seeks to regionalize what obviously is a national challenge. It regards to people who are being killed by bandits, etc. But Rufai should know better that, as a matter of fact, since he's somebody who talks about empirical evidence and empirics, even though most of the time he quote figures out of context. The fact of the matter is that people who have been convicted for aiding and abetting terrorism, killing of people in the north, was convicted, their property has been forfeited to the federal government. That is worse than to nationalize, not to seize. You don't take it over and pay compensation.
Right.
So if that happens,
Senator
if that is happening, so he asked, because he asked me that day, he said, what about people in the north where the Nigerians are being killed? Just got it completely wrong.
All right, let me
so when he said I lied, he's actually a pathological liar. He twists facts in a manner as if for him.
Let's focus on this issue of this.
You got it wrong. First, let's be very, very clear. I talk about categories of citizens. All over the world, you talk about citizens of countries. You also have corporate citizens. The ownership of the open ownership of DSTV may have been reworked in a way as to give it a French face, but you might go deeper to find out whether in truth there is no longer South Africa content.
There are South African interest in it.
Okay,
but the point I'm making,
wait.
so that we don't mix things up.
That interest is one.
Some of these companies you make so that we don't confuse our audience. Some of the companies you mentioned, they are not owned by South African state. They are owned by private corporate interest.
Yes,
and that's the point.
I didn't say corporate. Now these Nigerians who are being killed in South Africa, whose shops have been looted. Is anybody arguing that they are Nigerian-owned businesses? They are not Nigerian government-owned businesses. They are owned by Nigerian citizens. Exactly the same way as South African citizens have interest in those companies in varying degrees. That is the point. If you impose economic sanction, but what I do not advocate, we should behave as a more civilized people. We shouldn't kill, we shouldn't maim, we shouldn't burn, or we follow the law. The law allows us to take over. There's a hostile takeover, there's a friendly takeover. So if MTN is quoted, very good. That portion that is still held by South African citizens, that portion should be taken and managed by Nigerians. And I saw Rufai today laboring in a very poor manner that Nigerians can't manage, which is indicting himself, not our nation, as far as I'm concerned. You were talking about Etisala, that it had not succeeded. I said, how can
interest?
Yes.
And that's the point.
I didn't say copy. Now, these Nigerians who are being killed in South Africa, whose shops have been looted, is anybody arguing that they are Nigerian-owned businesses? They are not Nigerian government-owned businesses. They are owned by Nigerian citizens. Exactly the same way as South African citizens have interest in those companies in varying degrees. That is the point. If you impose economic sanction, but what I do not advocate, we should behave as a more civilized people. We shouldn't kill, we shouldn't maim, we shouldn't burn, or we follow the law. The law allows us to take over. There's a hostile takeover, there's a friendly takeover. So if MTN is quoted, very good. That portion that is still held by South African citizens, that portion should be taken and managed by Nigerians. And I saw Rufai today laboring in a very poor manner that Nigerians can't manage, which is indicting himself, not our nation, as far as I'm concerned. You were talking about Etisala, that it had not succeeded. I said, how can you be such a poor liar, Rufai, that you don't remember that Glo is owned by a Nigerian, Mr. Adenuga? He's alive and well. How can you not know that Airtel has sufficient Nigeria content and is doing well? Why are you suggesting that Nigerians cannot hold a GSM company? Because he's so self-opinionated, so paranoid that he lied lavishly and he lied confidently.
But this is not a reporting. This is not a reporting platform.
We're here to. Yeah. Let me speak to the point. The other point you made.
Yeah, and I'm saying that is Nigeria, the past government not being complicit.
He said Rufai is such a poor liar that he lies lavishly and confidently. Let's listen to the last part.
Not being complicit.
You said it all. Nigeria have been the poaching bank. They poach us in Ghana, we turn the other cheek. But for Ghana, sometimes I have mixed feelings. Because once upon a time, we had a Shagari government that asked Ghanaians to go home. That is what gave rise to this popular Ghana must go. And because for me, that is the problem. When governments are in trouble, they sought to divert attention. Exactly the same way as President Ramaphosa is in trouble at the moment with his own people. And it was very convenient for him to behave as if the problem is not caused by him, it's caused by other Africans. So I believe that we can't be the proverbial poach bank that Ghana can poach us, South Africa can poach us, any country can poach. Even there was a time, I think this small country, Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, or whatever, they were dealing with some Nigerians who are farmers or cocoa farmers in those countries. This country must stand for its citizens. That is my position.
But what